Hello everybody, my name is Tommy Watcher and welcome. Your faces back to Oxygen Not Included. Is that going to be my new intro? I don't know, I kind of like saying it, so we'll see. But on to the main thing of the fun of the game and stuff that I've been doing off cam because I have nothing better to do. That's a lie, I have lots of stuff that's better to do. But anyways, I've more or less just been queuing up a whole bunch of pillars and letting Banhai, however you want to say that, chisel away at them, and then I destroy them, and then I queue them back up to see how artistic I could get her. And she's all the way up to 12. That's pretty high, but she's still just producing quaint sculptures. So I don't know what you have to do to get masterful sculptures. I'm going to have her keep at it and whatnot. Still sitting on the same? These are not the same. I'm guessing it's because I closed the game and started it back up, but these aren't the people that I was waiting on. So I'm just gonna reject all of them. Planted a few of the Bristol Blossoms because I finally ran out of mealwood seeds. Problem being, they are getting toasty, so that's something that I want to fix this round. Another thing that's been happening that's kind of interesting is all the hot water has been melting the ice, and it's really opening it up in there. But I do want to, in this episode as well, build a ladder down and kind of chisel that out so that it pools up in one spot so that I can use it later. Another thing that was happening was I was soaring ice, and this one locker was the only thing that meltable stuff went into, and it started pooling, so I built a mesh tile so that the water could drain out. Didn't think about that as super lot because then this went empty and it started pumping clean water in with the contaminated water, and clean water will break your water purifiers. It can only take contaminated water. If you do it backwards, bad things will happen. So I also want to build a water filter. There we go, liquid filter, so that I can sieve clean water out from the contaminated water. Because we're getting a little low on the water. Things are going pretty well for the most part. But while they were over here, literally so many of my guys went idle that I was just, they cleaned everything up. They swept everything all in there and didn't have to queue it up. So I built some ladders so they could go clean stuff up over there. And guess what I happened to find? Couldn't find a single one in my last playthrough, but there's two, one on each side of me. So I figure I'll break this and start letting the water drain down here. And that's another reason I would want the water sieve that I'll probably put somewhere around right in there. I named that guy Carl. That's Carl, my hatch. Carl the hatch. So yeah, that's pretty much. Oh, I also cleaned this up. I moved all of the algae terrariums into this one spot and put a light on them so that they'd be a little bit better. See, there's the idle, by the way, because they have nothing to do. Still have insufficient oxygen generation, but why, I don't know, because this is all very breathable. I don't know if like the 32 kilograms per square, I guess that's how they measure that out, it's just obnoxiously high. Like, that's unheard of in this game, but that's just generally what it is everywhere. Another interesting thing that I did was I just built this line all the way across because I was going to like pump oxygen up into where they were sleeping, because it's the one place I don't want them to suffocate. If they start not sleeping well because they have to wake up and get breaths, bad things happen. And when I built the whole line out, it pumped oxygen into it. But if you build a vent, it will not pump it out of the vent stays overpressurized. So I guess that's just how it works. But quick summary of it all before I cut and then just come back where the fun stuff are happening. Gonna build a ladder down. Gonna break through that. Gonna build a water sieve, liquid sieve, and going to build a thermoregulator, and I'm gonna test it out. Says cools the gas piped through it but outputs heat in the immediate vicinity. So I'm gonna run, I don't exactly know how it works, so this is gonna be a little bit of an experiment, but I'm gonna run a gas line through this tile and probably just out to right here, since this is already so hot, and see if it can't cool off immediately right around these guys so that they grow better. And as I say, see you later, the last thing we'll do is queue up that since they have time. I have quite a bit of food, but why not have more? Okay, just had a little bit of a learning experience. Slow things down now. That just got done. They just took some power up to it. How that one will work is contaminated water will come in there. Clean water will be filtered out into the clean water reservoir, and contaminated water will output to the vent. So that's all fine and dandy. Should be able to enable that again. Ladder is on its way. Going down pretty well. Slime area further down. Lots of places for the water to drain, and all of this ice is gonna melt even more. So that'll be an adventure. Learning experience with this thing. You guys can mop that up. So how this one works is it actually needs a gas pump to pump gas into it. Go figure. I derped hard. I kind of thought it would just suck it, because these vents, if you go into plumbing and you look at the gas vent, those are only for output. So I didn't think that I could just slap one of those anywhere and be like, oh, it'll suck air in from one of those vents to one of those. Took my while to figure, gotta build a gas pump. Pumps gas into it, then it cools the gas and pumps cold gas back out. I thought, for whatever the reason, yay physics and me, that all of this gas would be getting cooled, and then this would output heat at that gas vent, but that's not how it works at all. That is actually where the cold air would go, and then the machine itself is what heats up. So I built all this insulated tile around it. I'm going to have to change it to gas permeable, otherwise that thing is going to cook itself in there. Yay, go team me. And I should probably actually end up putting that down in here somewhere, just because it'll stay cooler down in the frost zone. Put it next to one of the Weezeworts would probably be the best. But I'm not ready to rebuild it and send a whole gas line all the way up into here. So for now, I think I'll just try running that down and up into there somewhere and seeing how that works. But I don't know. Again, this thing working nicely. Yeah, look at that. See all the clean water it's sucking up. Going into the clean water. No contaminated water yet. But that's where I'm at. I'm gonna have them go dig out this water right there. And then when all that's drained over, then I'll get up into the geyser. And eventually, I guess I'll drop the geyser water down across that just so that it cools a little bit more. And it'll pool all up with this geyser's water down in the cold spot. But until that happens, it's just more water. But, burb. Yay, flow of slime water. Except it's not flowing too well. I do not understand the interaction of clean water to polluted water. Because there's that tiny little layer right there, but it's enough to stop all that polluted water. So I guess we're just gonna deconstruct one of those and see what happens. Oop. Deconstruct that. See, I have a gas line queued up, and sooner or later they'll get to it. And if I use the priority, it will be sooner rather than later. Ha ha. Also, rip mulewood. Gotta start using the briar blossom. Yeah. Okay, so that thing just kicked up. It's gonna warm up quickly. It overheats at 160. I have a feeling it's gonna get there quickly. I did insulated gas all the way to right there, so that hopefully it stays cold inside the pipe. And we got overpressurized just like that. You know, nothing will pump because everything's just overpressurized. Not you. You. I'm gonna run out of food just because everything's too overpressurized. But we have a new testificate on the way, so let's see if we can't get someone else to breathe more oxygen. I like that. He just doesn't care at all. Yokel. We don't need to worry about research, and small bladder isn't too much of a thing anyways. Meep. I like that name. Level 3 physician. See, like, he doesn't have a lot good going on in any one thing, but he's got a lot overall. Naturally robust. I hate narcoleptic. Just, you can't work with that. I'm gonna pick Rowan. Even though he's not super high up there, I can appreciate someone that's not smart. And he came out at night, so he's just gonna fall asleep right where he's at. Yeah, I called that. And in the interest of keeping it cold down there, I think I'm gonna change this to insulated tile. That's kind of cool. I'd never looked at that before, but if you zoom in, you can see the heavy wire sort of stapled to the air pipe. It's cute. Oh, something that I do better ought to get done sooner rather than later. Let's queue up Ruin, place to sleep. Okay, we've hit the bottom with the ladder. I'm gonna dig through there. I think I'm gonna put the water pump right there. And you may notice there's a bunch of carbon dioxide working its way down here, which I don't mind, because it means we're at least running out of concentration. You can kind of see, like, it's right there. It's in the grams, not in the kilograms. That's in 1,400 grams, kilogram, and then we're 23, 30. We're still really high up there, but not so much down here, which I like. So what I'm going to end up doing is I am actually going to deconstruct both of these. Oop. Not that. Just those. So I planted a bunch of the briars down here where it's cold, so hopefully they'll grow better and I won't starve to death. I have quite a few calories, but I don't know for sure how long that's gonna last. So better safe than sorry and all that. Anywho, I'm gonna build the pump there, and I'm gonna build a CO2 mop. I'm gonna build a CO2 scrubber, air scrubber, right there. Right there. I'll probably have to build another one of those sieves, the liquid sieves. liquid filter. Just because of all the contaminated water I'm going to have. But I think it's going to work out nicely for the most part. Okay, I think we're ready for this. It's been a bit of an ordeal on them. Not a super bit. I mean, 27 stress got built up, most of it in the new guy. But everything's run. We got power coming down in the heavy watt wire. The water pump with a filter that does polluted water that will go up into the water purifier, and clean water which will go into a CO2 scrubber. For some reason though, that's saying empty pipe. I don't know why. That could be a problem. We'll find out. But I'm building a little bit of a wall just in case the water just proves to be too much. But I'm gonna have them dig out that snow. Come on, guys, you can do it. There we go. Wait, yeah, get out of there. Ooh, and then quickly, I actually we'll use the Almight because it's not good for anything. We'll build that up a little bit. Just in case. Not in liquid. What is this sorcery? Look at all, like, what is with the water pressure? That should be just flowing through. But it's not. Okay, so that's pumping the way it should. That's good. Plenty of clean water coming through. Like for Rizzle? Well, looks like I'm gonna have to build another ladder going down there and go dig out some more. Oh, another thing I did is I turned off the shower while they were doing all that. I suppose I could turn it back on. Every time someone stepped in the polluted goo, they wanted to go take a shower. And I was like, guys, we got more important stuff to do. So I turned it off so they wouldn't have a choice. I suppose I can get rid of these now. Have a day of stress relief. Something else that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna build a clean water pipe going up. Just cause there's a lot of water there. Might as well use it all. Check it. Got hot water turning into cool water. Okay, well, since that seems to be running quite nicely now, I think I might just get rid of all of this. I don't know what this is going to do. These things aren't going to do anything. These guys are doing alright. Almost out of water down here. I was trying to think how I'm going to get this geyser down to there. I think I might just have to box that in. I just have to box... I don't know. A little aggravating. Just because I got the whole filter set up right over there. This thing needs CO2. See, it's actually pretty much cleaned up all of the carbon dioxide, which is nice. We're in the grams of oxygen. Still in the kilograms up there, but I don't know. I think for now, we're just going to say that I have plenty of water and not worry about that. I guess I could just break it open and let it drain into this one. But it's like, what do I need all this water for? I guess algae terrariums, but oxygen doesn't seem to be a problem. Something that I could do that I forgot that I was going to try is the aquatic farm tiles. I don't know exactly where I would put it, because they like it toasty. And I don't know where I could move some water where it's warm enough for them. Or I'm gonna want it to stay warm in the long run. See, after a while, I'd kind of like those to disappear. Well, sorry, got that backwards. I want those to stay, because I like having all of the food in one spot. So that I want to get cold after a while. But if I get it cold, then the thimble reeds won't do very well. So yeah, anyways, there's been a lot of progress for this episode. We got a liquid filter put in, some new food supply, and oxygen cleaner, CO2 scrubber, air scrubber, however you want to put it, and a near infinite source of water with that geyser. Like goodness, it's going to take a long time to get through all of that water. So now, we just have to wait to run out of oxygen and make the most out of our lives as we can. But I think I'll call it for this episode, because again, I got a lot done. Try and plan out some things for the next one, but thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next episode. Outro.